All right. In OET letter writing, some students usually they find it very difficult, but the fact is, OET letter writing is not really difficult if you understand the marking criteria, what the examiners need from you. Now, in writing OET, in writing OET, it's just only one letter you have, and you just have to do your best. So what I usually recommend is to focus on the six criteria, which the examiner just want to see in your letter writing, and then be able to get the best out of what you are writing. So in assessing your letter, um, in assessing your letter, there are six things that you really need to know. And these six things are this: the purpose, content, conciseness, and clarity, genre and style, organization and layout, and the language. Now, mind you, out of these six criteria, the most important of them all is the purpose of the letter writing. If you write your letter and your content is great, your conciseness and clarity is great, your genre and style excellent, organization and layout beautiful, and your language is perfect, but you fail the purpose of the letter, you didn't get the purpose of the letter, you are not going to pass that letter writing. The fact is this. If you actually fail the purpose of the letter, it's become very difficult for you to get the content, the conciseness, the genre and style, organization, and layout to be especially the content and especially the content to be difficult for you to get. All right, but what I'm going to do now is just to run through for you to understand these things so that when you are writing, you will know what you are doing. Now, let's first of all talk about the purpose of your letter writing. This actually refers to the reason for the writing this letter. And now this is how I explain it to students because when we say the purpose of the writing, some people get it confused. The word becomes very ambiguous, but it's not. For purpose of the writing, how I usually get it from the writing task is by doing these three things. Number one thing, the first thing I do is to ask what the reader really needs. What does the reader really need to do? What do you really want the reader to do for this patient? You ask yourself this first question. This first question is usually answered in the last part of your case note where they write the writing task and say, using this case note, write this to the so, and so. They usually state it clearly what the reader needs to do for the patient. Now, once you've seen that, the next thing you will now ask yourself, what is the problem? Why this reader need to do this? What problem is the reader trying to solve? Because you really need to get the problem out of that case note. So you look for the main problem. What's the main problem of the patient that you try to ask this consultant or whosoever you are referring this letter to deal with? And then the third point is for you to for you to state clearly what type of letter you are writing. Is it a referral, discharge, transfer, and update? Now, these three components make up the purpose of the letter. And in your introduction, these are the only three components you have to state in that introduction. Any other information you bring in your introduction, they are irrelevant. Now, when we start to review your letter, you will see how we analyze this. Coming to the content of the letter writing, when you get to the purpose of the letter using those three things, what you want the reader to do, what the problem is, and the type of letter, the content of the letter will be centralized on what the main problem is. Whatever problem you've identified, you start selecting information that will help to describe what that problem is. So the content of the letter will only include only relevant information, and it will suppose the purpose of the letter and provide enough details for the reader to understand what the problem is and for the reader to be able to act on that problem. When we talk about conciseness and clarity, which is the next criteria they are also marking, the third one, some people get confused. OET has made it easier for you to know what you are to do. They usually ask you to write between 180 to 200. Now, no matter how you write, if your letter is concise, your word count should always fall within that 180 to 200 or a little below 180. When your letter writing is exceeding over 220 and above, it's most likely you've added a lot of irrelevant information. And why does this happen? Some students, they repeat things that they've written before in one way or the other without knowing they are repeating themselves. Remember, you are stating facts and describing facts. You are not reporting the case note. So the letter writing is not for you to report what is written in the case note. It's first for you to describe what the problem is so that the reader will understand and able to do something. So you avoid unnecessary information and also ensure that the message is easy for the reader to read and understand. And when that happens, that means your letter is clear and is also concise. The genre and style, to be honest, it's just telling you that you just have to make your letter writing to be professional. You don't need to use text message formats to write. For example, some students, when they want to write things like I do not, they will write something like I don't, using contractions like I can't, am instead of I am. Try to avoid these kind of things in your letter writing because that will affect your style, your genre and style of writing. And maintain polite communication. Instead of you saying, I will want you to do this for this patient, you rather say, I would. So you should try as much as possible to make your tone to be polite and professional and ensure that the letter matches its purpose. When you are writing a consultant, it's different from when you are writing a patient. Although you rarely see case notes where doctors are writing to patients, unlike for the nurses. But what I'm trying to say is this. The language you might use for a consultant might be a little bit different when you are writing, let's say, a physiotherapist. And there are some abbreviations that you may use for a consultant. Let's say a consultant cardiologist, you might not want to use for a physiotherapist or a nurse. Organization and layout. This is actually quite simple. Most candidates will always do this perfectly. Now, let me warn you. When you are writing your paragraphs, try to make each paragraph to be in one, to try to use one line to demarcate your paragraphs. And while starting, try to start from the beginning of the margin. Don't leave additional space again before starting each paragraph. Otherwise, it will appear as if you are double paragraphing. So in this letter writing, I will advise, which is what is recommended anyway for you, to use line paragraphing in writing and allow your letter to flow logically. Now, when organizing your letter, it's important that the more important information come very much earlier. For example, when you've selected all the contents of your letter writing, the relevant information, let's say you are writing an urgent letter now. The more important, the more pressing need, the more pressing problem should be coming up immediately after your introduction instead of leaving it later on in your letter writing. And those information that are least important, maybe talking about patient allergies and something, if you think they are necessary in that letter, this kind of information might be coming down in the letter writing. Okay. And again, make your layout, although there is no specific number of paragraphs you are supposed to write, but try as much as possible to make your paragraph to have only one idea. What do I mean by one idea? For instance, if you're describing the symptoms, just make a paragraph to talk about maybe the signs and symptoms. Don't bring in signs and symptoms, and in the same paragraph, you're talking about family history and social history. In that case, you are putting a lot of information in one paragraph. As much as possible, try to make each paragraph to contain only just one idea. And finally is the language. This is where your grammar is corrected, your spellings are looked at, your medical terminology are looked. Are you using ambiguous medical terminology that the person you are writing may not understand. And try, and here also they look at the strength, your sentence structures. They want to see simple sentences, compound sentences, and complex sentences. But don't be carried away trying to write a lot of complex sentences because that will affect the clarity of your letter if they are too complex. So try as much as possible to have more of simple sentences and compact sentences. And also complex sentences, they are necessary, but don't allow that to be much of the sentences you are going to use in your letter writing. Oh, what has happened? Was she off before? Okay. So I don't know what happened to your internet, and I think we
Yeah,
are back now.
yeah, I'm back
So,
now.
so
Sorry.
where did you miss out from the whole conversation?
Talking about compound sentences, simple
Oh,
sentences, and
great. That's fine. I was thinking maybe you've left me alone for a long time. That that's okay. So what I'm trying to say is that for the language of the letter writing, you try as much as possible to use variety of sentences, but more of simples and compound instead of complex sentences. Because if you use too much of complex sentences, the clarity of your letter writing may be diminished. So, because what the purpose of the letter, why you are writing the letter, is for the reader to understand. And if the reader is not making much sense or be getting confused with whatever you are writing, you are no longer fulfilling the purpose of the letter, isn't it? And that's where they also look at your spellings and grammars and all that. Okay. Yeah. Have you got any question for me?
I think one question I have, we're talking about when you're writing the letter, you shouldn't pick like what is exactly in the
Sorry,
case note.
are you using earpiece?
Yes.
Is it okay
Should
if
I
you
take it
remove
off?
it? Yes, your voice is a little bit muffled.
Can you hear me now?
Aha, so sweet and clear now.
Okay, so I
Okay,
was asking, you were saying something about when you're writing the letter, you shouldn't take like the words exactly from the case notes and write in the letter. That's what I was trying
okay.
to understand. Is that you need to paraphrase it or
Um,
you
well,
shouldn't write?
it's not now. Let me just correct that notion anyway. In your introduction, where you are to state the purpose of the letter, copy verbatim whatever reason why they say this person need to do. That's what you do. You don't paraphrase anything at that point. Okay. Then
Yeah.
the case notes, they usually write it in notes. They don't write it in sentences. You have to use what is written in the case note. You don't need to manufacture your own words. Okay. But
Okay.
that does not
Yeah.
mean that you are just lifting the way it is in the case note and be dumping it in your letter writing. You will take
Copy
those
that.
words there and use them to make sentences. But
Okay.
whatever you've lifted, don't repeat it again because some case notes might write the same thing over and over and over again. But don't be tempted to keep repeating the same thing over and over again just because they've written it that way.
Okay.
Does that make sense at all?
Yeah, I understand now. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, by the time after this now. I don't know if I've given you any case note to write.
Yes, I think you gave me one.
Yes. So what will now
It
happen
says,
when you write the
yeah,
case notes? I don't know. Are you doing computer based or paper based?
computer based.
Good. If you are doing computer based, try to type. Don't write on a paper.
Okay.
Try to type. Be practicing try to type it. After typing, then you can copy what you've typed and then post it to me on our private chat on Telegram. Then we'll fix a
Okay.
time. We'll fix a time using the case note I've given to you. We'll just do it as if we are in exam, following it after, and then go through what you've written. And then I'll bring my own sample letter for us to compare with what you've written.
Okay.
Yep. I'm not expecting you to have a good grasp of everything I've explained now, but when we start to review, it will start to make sense to you, okay?
Okay.
Now, in summary, always identify the purpose of the letter before you write. Select only relevant
Yeah.
information. Let your letter be clear and concise and organize idea logically and maintain a professional tone. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. We'll call it
Another
an
question. When it comes
okay.
to sorry. When it comes to selecting this relevant information,
Yes.
is it is there a particular way it's meant to be done, or I don't know how to ask the question. Like,
Okay.
how do you
I
know
I
like the
understand
most
what you're trying.
relevant
Yes,
information? Yeah,
yeah.
to
Now,
pick out.
for each case note, there is a purpose of that letter. That's why I said at the beginning, the purpose of the letter is the first thing you need to identify. Okay. When a
Okay.
letter is given to you, go down to the writing task and see what the reader needs to do. Once you see what the reader needs to do, ask yourself the question, why does the reader need to do this? That means there is a problem. You go to the case note to look at what the main problem is, why the reader needs to do this. With that main problem that you've gotten, that's the information you're now going to use and be looking at the information given in the case notes. If I add this information, does that help to describe this problem I've identified? If the answer is yes, you keep the information. If the answer is no, you strike it out or remove it from the case note. That's how you run through. We will do it in practice when we are reviewing your letter anyway.
Okay.
That's how you
All
run
right.
through down to the end of the letter, to the end of the case note. When you've selected only the information you will use and discard the rest, then you now ask yourself, how do I organize this information? And you now start using them to construct sentences and paragraphs, and then that makes up your letter writing.
Okay.
When we start to review your letter anyway, from tax one, it will start making sense to you anyway. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Any other question?
No, I think no, not anymore. No.
All right. See you shortly when you finish writing your
Okay.
letter.
All
All right.
right.
Do have a lovely night. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye.